Okay, we're going to welcome Cassie Temple back up to the stage for our next speaker.
Hello, my name is Cassie Temple, this time back up here for myself. I'm with Beyond Marketing. I own Beyond Marketing. We specialize in social media management for small and medium-sized businesses. The slides that aren't up here, I also own Benefits Plus, where we do employee benefits and payroll under one roof, both local companies. I'm also on the board of directors for the Moorhead Business Association and an associate director for the Executives Club. So I wanted to say thank you from our entire committee to everybody who is here today. We're really excited to have so many people here for all of our speakers. And up next, we have Marc Kuhn. In spring of 2010, Marc Kuhn founded MAK Construction with a vision to be the area's top concrete contractor. MAK Construction has grown from a small residential contractor to now general contracting, multifamily units, and commercial projects. Marc's entrepreneurial spirit and desire to bring an unmatched quality and experience to the construction industry has brought his company to where it is today. MAK Construction now employs around 30 team members and has successfully completed projects ranging from home design and build to educational and commercial facilities. They are a company that prioritizes communication, transparency, and problem solving when working with clients. And if you guys do not follow him on LinkedIn already, you should, because he posts a lot of amazing content. So if you're looking for a lot more of what you hear today, you should follow him on LinkedIn.
Awesome. She did the job for me. Appreciate you having me on, Kurt, again. I appreciate putting all this together. I've been to a few different events, and I know what goes on behind the scenes to get something like this done. So, I'm not a member here, but I don't know a lot of people in Fargo. Hopefully most of you understand who I am by the end of this. So that's my goal here. So construction has a failure rate of 96%, which is actually just right in line with restaurants, right in line with anything else. If you Google it, it's one of the worst companies to start statistically. So this is where I started my journey. I didn't know that when I was young. I grew up working next to my dad from the age 6 to 20. We poured a lot of concrete. That's what we did. And through learning concrete, you don't know that your life's gonna end up. My dad grew up all along telling me, you want to go to college. You don't want to be stuck pouring concrete. We poured over 1,000 loads of concrete between the 6 and 20, so it was a lot of concrete. And well, I ended up going to college. I took Dad's advice, and I quit with 12 credits remaining in a business degree. I had a 2.4 GPA, and if you're in business, you know you need to hold at least a 2.5. So I decided, hey, I'm going to go get a W-2 job. I butt heads with Dad, and so lo and behold, I met my fiance, which is my wife today, and we got a mortgage, and then I got fired from my job about a year into that. And, so what I ended up doing is, without zero plan, because that's what apparently entrepreneurs like to do, many different things all the time, I decided to start a construction company because, hey, that's what I knew, and I knew I could make some money. So I started this big construction company, or it was not really the plan, but the first job I had was installing a fart fan. So I decided, yeah, this badass concrete guy gonna go install some fart fans, and that got me going. But as I learned in business, there's a lot of problems. I made so many mistakes. I made them all. I had really no clear goals. I had no focus, no core values, no hiring criteria, no leadership board. No operating system to speak of. I literally had no accountability. I didn't have an idea about business. I had no idea what even business was. I knew how to work really freaking hard. End of the day. And I ended up turning to be into, the fucking yes man, and that gets you nowhere, is what I figured out in life. I didn't actually start making money until I learned to learn no, and I didn't know that right away. But yeah, if you got a really screwed up job, I'll do it. Installing fart fans, that seems to be making money. Hiring everybody, yeah, I'll hire you. You seem friendly. You just quit your last job for unknown reasons. You make a lot of mistakes, And that's what I was. I was the yes man. But from 2010 to 2016, at this point, I ended up winding up into the hospital being the yes man. I did everything. I made all the key decisions. I didn't let anyone else do anything. If you got a problem, I'll fix it. If you got a screwed up job, I'll do it. And it just ended up winding up. Literally, I was laying in this bed in 2016, and I didn't know, my chest was coming out. And apparently, when you go to the ER for chest pains, as a male or female, I'm sure, you go to the front of the line. So they hooked me up to all these monitors, and they're like, yeah, you just had a panic attack. I was like, there's no way. I just went to the, how, why? You know, I went to the cities with some of my buddies and had a good time, and yeah, here I am, wound up with EKG monitors hooked to me. And you know, a lot of things ran through my mind at that point. Because I remember I wasn't sleeping. I was on the good old contractor kick, 6 coffees a day and 2 monsters, and maybe an occasional cigarette from one of the concrete guys, and I don't smoke. So that's all healthy, and that's good old fashioned, but it wound me up in that hospital, and I had to realize. I remember my wife actually, she's like, something's wrong with you. The fucking sheets are yellow. I'm like, what? And I just wouldn't sleep at night. I just have cold sweats every night. It'd be a sword down my throat, feels like my chest, and I just wouldn't sleep. All I would think about is the next day, the concrete. You know, in concrete life, you only get one shot with concrete, so you got to be super prepared. The concrete's going to show up at 6 whether you are prepared or not, and it's going to get dry and hard. And yes, crack for some of those that like that joke. You know, so I really had to reflect, though, at that time in my life, because if I were to go down, my family relied on this income after this. You know, everyone relied on me, and that's why I wasn't sleeping. I was making all the decisions. That was my biggest problem. I needed to make sure, I needed to actually create a company. It wasn't worth anything. If I would have died, they sold the assets, and that's all my family would have got out of that. And so I wanted to do more. I wanted to leave a better legacy. And so by doing that, I realized I actually had to make a business and understand what business was, just not hard work. And so by doing that, I basically got really freaking interested in 2016 how does the wealthy get wealthy? Well, like, if you say how to get rich by your phone, you know, you're likely to see some influencer pop up or something. And it was Grant Cardone that popped up on my phone and got me curious about real estate and got me curious about like making a real business that's worth something. So basically started hiring key managers. I literally just read, hey, hire for your key weaknesses. And so that's what I did. I found a project manager. I didn't like doing all the project manager. I actually liked the field work at that time. And he came about and he started doing all of those things for me, and it was great. So I kept hiring. And then things got better, but it weren't perfect. In 2020, I ended up joining EOS. I know there's a lot of EOS followers. Patrick Metzger was a local implementer here, and he created my business that I am today. I'm doing $2 million in 2016, and now I'm doing $20 million in 2023. So it's a lot different company, and EOS is a fabulous platform. We actually graduated from it, and it's brought my company to where it is today. And now I can say I run 1 hour in my construction company each week, where I was running 100 hours before. And that gives me time to go do what I want to do and what I like doing. And so there's really 3 hacks that I came down. I'm a 35-year-old guy up here talking today, but at 21 years old, there's really 3 hacks that I really wish I would have known, and that's what I want to share briefly as I talk long. So, but the first thing is, I wish I would have got more curious. And so what I mean by that is, I wish I would have hired mentors. I wish I would have educated myself more, spent more on education at an earlier age. I'd be so further ahead today than I am now. And that's probably one of my biggest regrets, is I was not curious enough. I had the concrete, egotistical type stuff that contractors get, and we get a bad vibe for, but if I would have gotten more curious, I would have educated myself much further. Online courses to, different It's a mentor. Find a mentor 1 and 2 years ahead of you in business. Man, that guy gives you all the freaking nuggets that you need to grow your business to his. And so I would tell everyone to make sure to find a mentor if you don't have one. I spend probably 6 figures, for sure 6 figures a year now on my self-education, which actually makes college look cheap in retrospect. But that pushes my company way faster. That's the only way I could have grown 10x in the last 6 years. So, and the second thing is urgency. The days are super long in business. If anyone's been in business, the days are super long. But what goes by fast are the weeks, months, and years, right? And when you realize that in business, you need to make sure you are very urgent about what you do. And reverse engineering a plan, you know, if I want to get to 100 million in the next 5 years, I'm just reversing those steps down to every single year, every month, and every day. And if I can hit those steps, I can now know an actionable step. Hey, did I kill this day? Or you know, if I can measure that each and every single day, I know I'm on the path there, right? I know I'm going to get there. It's probably going to be bumpy, but I just really reverse engineer the plan. And the third thing is leverage. Now, I'm not talking like Dave Ramsey shit, like don't use leverage. Dave Ramsey actually is the biggest one of leverage, and I'll get to that in a minute. But the biggest thing that I think to leverage is your time. I found people with my greatest weaknesses. I hired for them. And some people think they need to go hire like a top tier executive, $150,000 a year. Hire yourself an assistant. Clear your schedule. Have them. I literally sit down with my girls every Monday and I just build the not to-do list. Here, you do this, you do that, you do this, you do this. And then I make them follow up at the end of the day. That has cleared a lot of my plate to do the things that I want to do today, which is a lot on social media. The second thing is money. You have to realize Apple's got $90 billion in cash, yet they go and borrow $100 billion. Why would they do that? Well, the U.S. government does the same thing. There's $33 trillion in U.S. debt. Why do you think that they borrow money or print more money? Why do they go further in debt? Because they know they can they know there's inflation. There's secret tax. You can write off the interest. You can write off things. I didn't know that when I first started. It's like, oh, I thought you got to have everything paid off in my house and then everything was perfect. No. You actually, you know, using leverage smartly on real assets is a great thing. And then third thing, media. This is what Dave Ramsey gets really well, and this is what I've been doing in the last couple of years in my business, is Dave had a $300 million business based on him leveraging media. And that's, you know, Dave might go on a stage. I'm recording this right now. I'm going to repurpose this. If I can get, there are a couple hundred people in this room, but if I can get another 1,000 people to watch this and use the same amount of my time here, I can use leverage in media and exposure. You know, we have a 30,000 followers today, and I get exposure all over the United States now. I got friends, and they have the same alignment, the same core values, the same mission as I do. And I think, you know, people don't care about Tesla. People don't care about Amazon. They care about Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos. They care about the person now. Think about it. All the millennials are the ones coming up in business. They all grew up with a telephone. People care about your social personal brand, and that's why I'm so passionate about with my LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. I'm not doing dances. I'm just trying to educate and provide value, right? I'll leave that up to Dave and singing. But yeah, and so people care. I mean, literally, Elon Musk can change the freaking stock market with one tweet, or one X, or whatever it is, and it's the most powerful thing that you could build in 2024. So again, the few things: curiosity, urgency, and use some leverage with media. So thank you all.
I just checked lifetime. He's almost at 24,000 followers on LinkedIn. So if we all just go ahead and follow, we'll get him that much further over the hump. So something to consider in your thought leadership docket.